We're having fun, but we're working hard here in Marrakesh, Morocco at the UN Climate Change Conference. We're here to bring you the other side of these globalist control conferences that you will never see or hear anywhere in the mainstream media. But do you ever wonder why you don't see the other side of the story? Do you ever wonder why you won't hear another journalist criticize the UN member states like Canada when Catherine McKenna says something ditzy, or criticize Saudi Arabia for their human rights abuses, or criticize the UAE for being an OPEC country morally preening at the climate change conference? Why don't we ever hear journalists take down the oppressive UN bureaucrats who run the show around here? Well, it's because those journalists, well, they just can't do those things. It's in the official code of conduct for journalists. Seriously, let me show you just how oppressive the UN media policy really is. It reads, no activity derisory to the UN, any of their member states, organizations, or any individual, or criticism that would go against basic rules of decorum is allowed. And UN security reserves the right to revoke previously issued permissions for media actions anytime if the security conditions so require. So basically, we can't do anything insulting or scornful towards the UN or any of the member states, or they will revoke our accreditations. So when the UN touts consensus, is it really consensus if a journalist has no choice but to favorably report on what we see here today? Is it really consensus if we can't be critical of the UN or the heads of state or their representatives? Right now, I could be violating this UN policy by saying this AstroTurf shindig behind me in the desert is more of a Social Democrat annual general convention than a robust discussion on how climate change policy will affect our individual economies. I know I'm in violation for saying the Saudis are human rights oppressors who are using the UN climate change agenda to try to break the back of the North American oil industry. The UN, they're supposed to have their own commitments to the free press in their Universal Declaration on Human Rights. Article 19 reads, everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers. UN spokesperson Nick Nuttall reaffirmed that to me when I interviewed him earlier. But this policy of muzzling journalists is counter to the UN's own policy. This official muzzling policy, it won't be working on us at The Rebel. It's never going to work on us. You're going to see exactly what we see. We are here to tell the truth, no matter who we're talking about. For TheRebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. For more exciting coverage from our trip to Marrakesh, Morocco to cover the UN Climate Change Conference, such as our shots of Marc Morano being taken away by UN security, click the link below to subscribe today.